fine workman. I'm but as you would say, a cobbler.
What trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, ma'am, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience. One that is indeed, ma'am, a mender of bad souls.
What trade, thou knave? Thou naughty knave, what trade?
Nay, I beseech you, ma'am, be not out with me yet. If you be out, ma'am, I can mend you.
What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy woman.
Why, ma'am, cobble you. Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, ma'am.
All that I live by is with thee all. I meddle with no tradesmen's matters, nor women's matters, but with all I am indeed, ma'am, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them. As propermen as ever trod upon neat leather have gone upon my handiwork.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Well, truly, ma'am, to wear up their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, ma'am, we make holy day to see Caesar, to rejoice in her triumph.
Rejoice! What conquest brings she home? What tributaries follow her to Rome to grace in captive bonds her chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome! Knew you not Pompey many a time and oft? Have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome? And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made a universal shout? The Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replications of your sounds made in her concave shores? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holy day? And do you now strew flowers in her way that would come in triumph over Pompey's blood? Begone! Run to your houses! Fall upon your knees! Pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light upon this ingratitude. Go! Go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks and weep your tears into the channel till the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. See where their basest metal be not moved, they vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies. May we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal. It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. All about, and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wings will make her fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in circle fearfulness?
Run her course. Antonio!
Caesar, my lady.
Forget not in your speed, Antonio, to touch Calpurnia. For our elders say, the barren touch it in this holy chase, shake off their stare-out curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says, do this, it is performed.
Sit on, and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Huh? Who calls?
Bid every noise be still. Peace yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cry, Caesar! Speak. Caesar's turn to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack that quick spirit and mettle that is an antony. Let me not hinder, therefore, your desires, Cassius. I'll leave.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn, too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late, with passions of some difference, conceptions proper only to oneself, which give air perhaps to some of my behaviors. Therefore let not my friends be grieved, among which number Cassius you one, nor construe any further of my neglect than that poor Brutus were with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
And Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other thing.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn that hidden worthiness into your eyes, that you might see your shadow. I have heard, where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning under this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seeking to myself that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. And be not jealous of me, gentle Brutus, were I at common laughter did use to scale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protest. If you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard and after scandal them, or if you know that I confess myself in banqueting to all around, then hold me dangerous.
Use the shout! Do you fear the people choose Caesar for their queen?
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so?
Not Cassius. Yet I love her well. Wherefore hold me here so long? What is it you would wish to impart on me? If it be aught for the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other. For let the gods so speed me that I do love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. Cannot tell what you or other men think of this life. But for my single self, I had as lief not be, as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar. So are you. We both are fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as she. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood, and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in, and battle followed. So indeed she did. The torrents roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive at the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the olden Cassius bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I the tired Caesar. And this woman is become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body as Caesar carelessly, but not on him. She had a fever when she was in Spain, and when the fit was on her, I did mark how she did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. Her coward lips did from their color fly, and that same eye whose bend not all the world did lose her luster. I did hear her groan. I, and that tongue of hers that bade the Romans mark her, and write her speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius," as a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me, a woman of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world, and bear the palm alone.
The devil shout! These applauses are for some new honors heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, she doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under her huge legs and peep about, to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men, at some time, are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spear as soon as Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth our Caesar feed that she is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When with their buying age since a great flood, but was fain with more than with one man? When could they say till now that talked of Rome, her wide walks encompass but one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough when there's in it one only man? Ugh! You and I have heard our fathers say there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
But you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you have said, will consider. How I have thought of this in these times and shall account hereafter. For at this present time I would not with love be any further moved. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find time both meet to hear, to answer such high things. Until then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than repute himself a son of Rome under hard conditions as times like this are like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Cassius by the sleeve. She will, after her sour fashion, tell you what had preceded where you know to.
I will do so. But look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow. The rest look like a chidden traitor. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, and Cicero has such ferret, such fiery eyes as we have seen her in the Capitol being cost in conference by some senators.
Cassius will tell us what the matter is.
Antonio!
Caesar.
Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yond Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He is not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter, but I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid. So soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music, and seldom he smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself, and scorned his spirit, and could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what there is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on, my right hand, for this ear's deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with her, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what hath chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered her. And being offered her, she put it by with the back of her hand thus. And then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered her thrice?
I marry wust. She put it by thrice, every time gentler than other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbor shouted.
Who offered her the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not want it. I saw Mark Antony offer her the crown, yet 'twas not a crown, neither 'twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, she put it by once. But for all that that, to my thinking, she would fain have had it. Then she offered it to her again. Then she put it by again, but to my thinking, she was very loath to lay her fingers off it. And then she offered it a third time. She put it a third time by, but still, as she refused it, the rabblemen hooted and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar had refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for she swooned and fell down with it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What? Did Caesar swoon?
She fell down in the marketplace and foamed at mouth and was speechless.
It's very like she hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. You and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the Tabric people did not clap her or hiss her, according as she pleased or displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true woman.
What said she when she came on to herself?
Mary, before she fell down, when she perceived the common herd was glad she refused the crown, she plucked me out her doublet and offered them her throat to cut. And I had been a woman of any occupation if I would not have taken her at a word. I would I might go to hell among the rogues. And so she fell. When she came to herself again, she said if she had done or said anything amiss, that she desired their worships to think it was her infirmity. 3 or 4 swain where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul," and forgave her with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And she came sad thus away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, she spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you, I'll ne'er look you with the face again. But those that understood her smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news, too. Euryalus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Very well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye. If I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
A blunt fellow this is grown to be. She was quick and mettled when she was in school.
So is she now, in execution of any bold or noble enterprise. However, she puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to her good wit, which gives a man's stomach to digest her words with better appetite.
And so it is. For at this time, leave. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see that honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their like. For who is so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but she loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, and at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writers, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein, obscurely, Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, Caesar's seat her sure, for we will shake her, or worse days endure.
Good evening, Casca. Brought you Caesar home. Why are you breathless and why stare you so?
Are you not moved when the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived up the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds. But never till tonight, never till now did I go through a tempest-dropping fire. Either there is civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Why, saw you anything more wonderful?
A common man, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined. And yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched.
Oh.
Besides, I had not since put up my sword. Against the Capitol, I met a lion, who glazed upon me and went surly by, without annoying me. And there were drawn upon a heap 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men, all in fire, walk up and down the streets. And yesterday, the bird of night did sit even at noonday upon the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. When these prodigies do so conjoin me, let not men say these are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe these are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange and disposed time. But men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Come, Caesar, to the Capitol tomorrow.
She doth. Before she did bid Antonio send word to you she would be there tomorrow.
Good night then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night. Thus unbraced, Casca, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone, and when the cross blew, lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven. I did present myself, even in the aim and very flashing.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by tokens send such heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca, and those sparks of life that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale, and gaze, and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder. See the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires? Why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts from quality and kind? Why old men, fools and children calculate? Why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures and preformed faculties to monstrous quality? Why? You shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning on some monstrous state. Now, could I, Casca, name to thee someone most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars as doth the lion in the Capitol? Someone no mightier than thyself, or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful, as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean. Is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For Romans now have thews and limbs like to their ancestors. But all the while, our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed with our mother's spirits. Our yoke and suffrage show us womanish.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a queen, and she shall wear her crown by sea and land in every place save here in Italy.
I know where I shall wear this dagger then. Cassius, from bondage will deliver Cassius. There ye gods, you make the weak most strong. There ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Nor stony tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks the power to dismiss itself. If I know all this, know all the world besides that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake it off with pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor woman. I know she would not be a wolf, but that she sees the Romans are but sheep. She weren't a lion when on Roman times. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire begin it with weak straws. What trash is woman? What rubbish? And what awful when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar? But O grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman, that I know my answer must be made. But I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a woman that is no fleer and telltale. Hold. My hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now, know you, Casca, I've moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I do know by this they stay for me in Pompey's porch. For now, this fearful night, there is no stir or walking in the streets, and the complexion of the element is favors, like the work we have in hand, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna. You know him by his gait, he's a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that? Matilda Timber.
No, it's Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for, Cinna?
I'm glad, lads. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our
Be you
party.
content? Good Cinna, take this paper, and look you laid in the praetor's chair where Brutus may find it. And throw this in at his window. Set this up with statue, wax upon old Brutus' statue. All this done, repair to Pompey's porch, where you shall find us. Is Decius Brutus and Trebonius there?
All but Matilda Timber, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hide and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
That done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would appear offends in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth and our great need of him, you have right well conceived. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will awake him, and be sure of him.
Lucius! Boy! Awake! Cannot by the progress of the stars you guess how near today. Lucius, I say! Would that it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius, when? Awake, I say!
Called you, my lord?
Get a taper in my study. When it is lighted, come and call me.
I will, my lord.
It must be by her death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at her. But for the general, she would be crowned. How might that change her nature? That is the question. It is right, the day that brings forth the adder, that craves weary walking. Crown her that, and I grant we put a sting in her that she may do danger. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak the truth of Caesar, I have not known when her affection swayed more than her reason. But 'tis common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face, but once he attains the utmost ground, he then onto his back turns the ladder face towards the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then least she may. That. And since the quarrel bears no color for the thing she is, fashion it thus for the thing she is, augmented would run to these and these extremities. And therefore, think her a serpent's egg, as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lay there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed. Is it not tomorrow? Is not the day the 1st of March?
I know not, sir.
Look at the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
The exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake, and see thyself. Shall Rome settle? Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake. Such instigations have often dropped where I have took them up. Shall Rome settle? Thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome, Rome. My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was crowned king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and to strike? Oh, Rome, if the redress will follow, thou will receive the full petition of the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 15 days.
'Tis good, go to the gate, someone knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all this interim is like a phantasm or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are in council. Is then the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers the nature of insurrection.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let them enter. They are a faction. Oh, conspiracy! Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free? Oh, then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy, hide it in smiles and affability. For if thou pad thy native semblance on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from prevention.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every one of them. And no one here but honors you. And everyone doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
She is welcome hither.
This, Decius Brutus.
She is welcome too.
This Casca. This Cinna. And this Metellus Cimber.
But they are all welcome. Tell them with watchful cares to interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night.
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No.
Oh, pardon, ma'am, it doth. And yon grey lions that fret the clouds are messengers of day.
You shall confess that you are both deceived. Here, as I point my sword, the sun arises, which is a great way growing on the south, weighing the youthful season of the year. Some 2 months hence, up higher toward the north, he first presents his fire, and the high east stands as the capital, directly here.
Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No. On oath. If not the faces of men, the sufferance of our souls, the times of use. If be these motive weak, then break off betimes, and each man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sighted tyranny rage on till each man drop by lot. But if these are, as I'm sure they are, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, and steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then countrymen, what other spur need we but our cause to prick us to redress? What other word than secret Romans who have spoke their word and will not palter? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engaged, that this shall be or we shall fall? Swear, priests. Cowards, men, clotless, feeble, old, carry on in such suffering souls. Unto such bad causes swear such creatures as men doubt. But do not stain the even-handed virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirit to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of several bastardy if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed him.
What of Cicero? Shall we sound her? I think she will stand very strong with us.
Let us not leave her out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have her, for her silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, her judgment ruled our hands. Our youths and wildness shall no whit appear, but all be buried in her gravity.
Oh, name her not. Let us not break with her, for she will never follow anything other men begin.
Then leave her out.
Indeed, she is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Cassius, well urged. I think it is not meet. Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find her a shrewd contriver, and you know her means, if she improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut off the head and then hack off the limbs, like wrath and death and envy follow afterwards. Let us be sacrificers, not butchers, Cassius, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. And we all stand against Caesar's spirit, and in men's spirit there is no blood. Oh, we could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let us kill her boldly, not wrathfully. Carve her as a dish fit for the gods, not a carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts do as subtle masters do, stir up our servants to an act of rage and after seem chide to. This shall make our purpose necessary, not envious. And so to the common eyes we shall be called purgers, not murderers. For Antony, think not of her, for she can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear her, for the engrafted love she bears to Caesar.
Last good Cassius, think not of her. For if she do love Caesar, all that she can do is to herself, take thought and die for her. But that were much she should, for she is given to sports, wildness, and much company.
There is no fear in her. Let her not die, for she will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace. Count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for she is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion she held once of fantasy, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of her augurs may hold her from the capital today.
Never fear that. If she be so resolved, I can o'ersway her. For she loves to hear how unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell her she hates flatterers, she says she does, being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can give her humor the true bent, and I will bring her to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch her.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost. And fail not then.
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard. Who rated him for speaking well of Pompey? I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reason. Send him hither, and I'll bash him.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves. But all remember what you've said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh, merry. Let not our looks deceive our purposes, but bear it as Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so, good morrow, everyone. Boy! Lucius! As to sleep, it is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no cares, nor no figures fantasy that the brains of men draw out. Therefore thou sleepest so sound.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, wherefore rise you? It is not good for your health to thus commit your weak condition to the rock-cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You have ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing, with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafter of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed upon your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do, good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need, if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that now visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret? I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods! Render me worthy of this noble wife! Hark, will knocks, go in on. And by thy bosom shall partake in all the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to me all the character of my sad brow. Leave me with haste. Lucius, who's that knocks?
Here is a sick man that would speak with you.
Caius the Gaius that Metellus spake of. Stand aside. Caius the Gaius, how?
Vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue.
For a time you have chosen out the brave Caius to wear a kerchief, that you are not sick.
I am not sick if Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit I have in hand, Ligarius, and you the healthful ear to hear of it.
By all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. So, Rome, brave son derived from honorable loins, thou like an exorcist hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible, yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But But are not some whole that we must make sick?
Ah, that we must also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to thee, as we are going to whom it must be done.
Set on your foot, and with heart new fired I will follow you, to do I know not what, but it sufficed that Brutus leads me on.
Follow me then.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help! Oh, they murder Caesar!" Who's within?
My lady?
Go bid the priests do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lady.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir from your house today.
Caesar shall forth the things that threaten me, ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they're vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies yet. Now they fright me. There is one within besides the things that we have heard and seen. Recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fight upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in right form of war which drizzle blood upon the capital. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses do neigh, and dying men do groan, and ghosted shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do hear them.
What can be avoided? Whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general, as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart. If she should stay at home today for fear, no, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar's more dangerous than she. We are two lions littered in one day, and I, the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my love, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call in my fear that keeps you in this house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and she shall say you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor, I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, she shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators, and tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false, and dare not, falser. I will not come. Tell them so, Decius.
Say she is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arms so far to be afeard to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them. Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which, like a fountain, did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And for these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent. And on her knee hath begged me to stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say. And know it now, the Senate hath concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock, apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hid herself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me. Caesar, for my dear, dear love to your proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. And look where Publius has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Publius. What, Brutus? Are you stirred so early, too? Good morrow, Casca. Caius Lagerus. Caesar was near so much your enemy as that same ague that had made you lean. What's to class?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony, that rebel's long nights is not withstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So to most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Now, Cinna, now Metellus, what's Trebonius? I have hours of talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me so that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. So near will I be that your best friends shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
But every life is not the same. Oh, Caesar, hard and Brutus earns to think upon.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Cimber. Decius Brutus loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Caius Lagerus. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou be'st not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lover, Artemidorus. Here will I stand till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give her this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive. I prithee, go to the Senate house, stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why doest thou stay?
Do you know my errand, madam?
I would have had thee there and here again ere I came
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else, and so return to you and nothing else?
Yes, bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well, for he went sickly forth. And take good note, what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark, boy, what noise is that?
Madam, I hear none.
Really, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor like a fray, and the winds ring from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
At mine own house, good lady.
What is the clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see her pass into the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have, lady. If it would please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I will beseech her to befriend herself.
Thou knowest any harms intended towards her?
None that I know will be. Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels of senators, praetors, common suitors will crowd a feeble man almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void, and there speak to great Caesar as she comes along.
Must come in. Ay me, how weak a thing the heart of a woman is. Oh, Brutus, thou didst speed me in thine enterprise. Sure the boy heard me. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant. Oh, I grow faint. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am married, and come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come!
I, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail Caesar, read this schedule. Trebonius doth desire you to read at your best leisure this her humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly.
What? Is the woman mad?
Zero, good place.
What? Urge your petitions in the street. Come to the capital.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Philius?
Fare you well.
What said Papilius Lena?
She wished today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how she makes the Caesar mark her.
Cast to be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be content. For look, she smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows the time, for look you, Brutus. She draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
He is addressed. Press near and second him.
Jessica, you are the first that rears her hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and her Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat an humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn preordinance and first decree into the lane of children. Be not fond to think Caesar bears such rebel blood, that will be thawed from its true quality, with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother, by decree, is banished. If thou dost bend, and pray, and fawn for thee, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor, without cause, will she be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What? Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall. To beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am as constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and arresting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are all painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there is but one in all doth that hold her place, that unassailable holds her rank, unshaped of motion, and that I am she. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant, Simmer should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me.
Senators, be not afraid, fly not, stand still! Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus.
And Cassius, too.
Where's Publius?
Here, quite confounded with this mutiny.
Stand fast together, at least some friend of Caesar.
Stop standing! Good cheer, Publius. There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Publius.
And leave us, Publius. We said the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide the deed, but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to her house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Fates, you will know your pleasures. That we must die, we know. It is but the time and the drawing of the days that men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that. Then is death a benefit, so are we Caesar's friends to abridge your time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop. And let us bathe our hands in her blood, up to our elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth into the marketplace, waving our red weapons o'er our heads. Let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then. Wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, with state unborn, and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport? Now lie along Pompey's bases, and worthier than dust.
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What? Shall we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Soft, who comes here? Friend of Antony's.
Thus Brutus did my master bid me kneel. Thus Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus she bade me say. Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus and I honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored her, and loved her. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus through the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my master, Mark Antony.
My master is a wise and valiant Roman. Never thought her less. So it shall please her to come on to this place, she shall be satisfied. And by my honor, depart untouched.
I'll fetch her presently.
know that we shall have her well to friend.
I wish we may. But yet have I a mind that fears so much, and my misgivings still fall shrewdly to the purpose.
And here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glorious triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, senators, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I, myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor instrument of half that worth as those your swords made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech you, if you bear me hard, now what your purple hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place would please me so. No means of death is here, by Caesar and by you. Cut off the choice and mastered spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, not your death of us. Though now we seem bloody and cruel as this our present act, yet you see our hands in this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, and they are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, pity hath done this deed to Caesar. For your part to you, our swords have leaden points, our arms and strength of malice, our hearts brothers tender. Receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as anyone's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitudes beside themselves by fear. Then we shall deliver unto you the cause why I that did love Caesar when I struck her have thus proceeded.
I doubt none of your wisdom. Let each one render me their bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus do I shake thee. Next, Caius Cassius do I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. My valiant Casca, yours. Alas, not least in love, yours, good Tronius. Senators, oh, what shall I say? My credit now stands in such slippery ground that either one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall I not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony making your peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes? Most noble, in the presence of thy glories, and I, as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, shall it not become thee better than to close in terms of friendships with thy enemy? Pardon me, Julius. Here wouldst thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall, and here thy hunter stand, signed in the spoil and crimson in thy lineage. Oh, world! Thou wast the force to this heart, and this, indeed, a heart of thee. Like a deer, by many princes. Dost thou here lie?
Mark Antony!
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, then and a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on it?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, I am with you all, and love you all. Upon this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Was with this a savage spectacle? What reasons are so full of good regard? That were you Antony, the kin of Caesar, you shall be satisfied.
That is all I seek. Moreover, suitor, that I may produce her body to the marketplace, and as becomes her friend, speak in the order of her funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in her funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which she will utter.
Your pardon, I will see myself into the pulpit first. When Antony speaks, I will protest. She speaks by leave and by permission. And that we were contented. Caesar should have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage us more than do us wrong.
I know not what they fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us. Speak all the good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission, else shall you have no hand about her funeral. You shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, the bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the most noble woman that ever lived in the tide of time. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood over thy wound. Now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope the ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cover all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war, or pity choked at the custom of fair deeds, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge, with Otte by her side come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. This foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion and groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did write for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me to say to you by word of mouth.
Caesar! My heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. Passion, I see, is catching from mine eyes. Seeing those beads of sorrow stand in mine begin to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him what hath chanced. Here is mourning Rome, dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this course. Unto the marketplace I shall try in my oration how the people take peace. issue of these bloody men, according to which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand. We will be satisfied.
Follow me and in the audience, friends! Cassius, go you into the street over and part the numbers. Those that will hear me stay. Those that will follow Cassius go with them, and public reasons shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
I will hear Brutus speak.
I will hear Cassius and prepare their reasons when severally we hear them rendered.
The noble Brutus is ascended. Silence!
Be patient to the last. Hear my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for my honor, and have respect for my honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses that you may better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar, say Caesar, my Brutus' love for Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I love Caesar less, but that I love Rome more. Caesar did love me. I weep for her. As Caesar was fortunate, I rejoice in her. But as Caesar was ambitious, I slew her. Murder! There are tears for her love, joy for her fortune, honor for her valor, and death for her ambition. Power! She is so base that they would be a bondman. If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that they would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for her have I offended. And who is here so vile that they would not love their country? If any, speak, for them have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus.
None, Brutus. None.
None.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of her death is enrolled in the Capitol. Her glory is not extenuated wherein she was worthy, nor her offenses enforced for which she suffered death. Here comes her body, mourned by Mark Antony. And though she had no part in her dying, she do receive the benefit of her death, a place in the commonwealth of which you shall not. With this, I leave you, that as I slew my best love for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus!
Bring him with triumph home unto his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar!
Caesar's better patch shall be crowned in Brutus. Bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
Be silence. Brutus speaks.
My country, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony, to grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace Antony's speech tending to Caesar's glories, which she is allowed to make by our permission. I entreat you, not one man depart till Antony have spoken.
Stay home. Let us hear Mark Antony.
Let her go up into the public chair. We'll hear her. Noble Antony, go up.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholden to you.
What does she say of Brutus?
She says for Brutus' sake she finds herself beholden to us all.
Twere best she spoke no harm of Brutus here.
The Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, 'tis certain we are blessed that Rome is rid of her.
Peace. Let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans,
Peace home!
friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise her. The evil that men do live after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously Caesar hath answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. She was my friend, faithful and just to me, but Brutus says she was ambitious and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I did thrice present her with a queenly crown. She did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet, Brutus says she was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love her once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for her? Oh, judgment! Thou art fled to brutish and beast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me, for my heart is in the coffin there, receiver, and I must pause till it come back to me. Methinks there's much reason in her sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has she, masters? I fear there will a worse come in her place.
Marked ye her words? She would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain she was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul, her eyes are red as fire and weeping.
There is not a nobler soul in Rome than Antony.
Now mark her, she begins again to speak.
But yesterday, the words of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now, lies she there, and none so poor to do her reverence. Oh, maesters, were I disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, whom you all know are honorable. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you. Then will I wrong such honorable men. But here is a parchment with a seal of Caesar. I found it in her closet, 'tis her will. But the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss the dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in her sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of her for memory, and dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
Read the will.
Read the will.
The testament.
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. 'Tis not meant to know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood. You are not stones, but humans. And being human, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are her heirs. Perfect shame. What would come of it?
Read the will. We'll hear it, Antony.
The testament.
No,
Read the will.
The will.
Read it with patience. Will you stay a while? I have overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I have wronged the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed to Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors. Honorable men. Read the will.
They were villains, murderers. The
Read the
will,
will.
the will,
Read the will.
Tell me then to read the will. Then make her bring about the corpse of Caesar, and I will show you her that made the will. Shall I descend, and will you give me leave?
Come down, come down.
Descend.
You shall have leave.
Arrange, stand round. Stand from the hearse. Stand from the body.
Room for Antony, most noble Antony.
Nay, press not so upon me. Stand far off.
Stand back.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas a summer's evening in her tent, the day that she overcame Minerva. In this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Cassius mutiny. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as a rushing out of doors to be resolved. If Brutus so unkindly knocked, or no, for Brutus, you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh, you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him! This was the most unkindest cut of all, for when Caesar saw him stabbed, and gratitude, more strong than traitors' arms, quite vanquished her than burst her mighty heart. And in her mantle, muffling up her face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, when Paul was there, my countrymen, and then I, and you, and all of us fell down, most bloody treason flourished over us! Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dent of pity. These are grace's drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar vested wounded? Look, you hear. Here is herself, marred, as you see, with traitors. Oh, be a spectacle!
Oh, noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day!
Oh, traitors! Villains! This bloody sight!
We will be revenged.
Revenge about!
Seek, burn, fire, kill, slay! Let not traitor live! Stay, countrymen!
Peaceful. We'll hear her. We'll follow her. We'll die with her.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not what made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal your hearts away. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt woman, that did love my friend, and that they know full well gave me a public leave to speak of her. I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on and tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show me, sweet Caesar's wound. Poor, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue to every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
Mutiny!
Who are in the house of Brutus?
Away then, come, seek the conspirators!
Yet hear me, countrymen! Yet hear me speak!
Peace!
Why, friends, who go to do you know not what? Wherein has Caesar thus deserved your love? You go to do you know not what? You have forgot the will I told you of.
Most true, the will.
Read the will. Tis the will.
Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen she gives, to every several soul, 75 drachmas!
Most noble Caesar! We will revenge her death.
Oh, royal Caesar!
Hear me with patience. Be so. Moreover, she had left you all her walks, her private arbors, her new planted orchards on this side of Tiber. She had left them to you, and your ends forever. Common pleasures, to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another? Never, never. Come, away, away! Burn the body in the holy place, and with the brands fire the traitors' houses. Take up the body.
Go fetch fire.
Pluck down benches.
Pluck down forms, windows, anything. Now, let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. Oh, now, fella.
Madam, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry and will in this mood give us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Be like they had some notice of the people, how it had moved them. Bring me to Octavius. I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unluckily charged my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth through doors, yet something leads me forth. What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married woman or single?
Answer every man directly.
I and briefly. I and wisely.
I am truly your best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I a married woman or single? Then to answer every person directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely I say I am single.
That is as much to say they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly I am going to Caesar's funeral. As a friend or an enemy? As a friend.
That matter is answered directly.
For your dwelling, briefly. Briefly I dwell by the capital.
Your name, ma'am, truly.
Truly my name is Cinna. Tear her to pieces. She's a conspirator. I'm Cinna the poet. I am Cinna the poet. Tear her for her bad verses. Tear her for her bad verses. I am not Cinna the conspirator. That's no matter. Her name's Cinna. Pluck but her name out of her heart and turn her going.
Tear her! Tear her! Come, brands, ho! Firebrands to Brutus, to Cassius, burn all! Some to Decius' house, and some to Cassius, some to Ligarius. Away! Go!
This many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition, Publius shall not live. Who is your sister's son, Mark Antony?
He shall not live. Look, with his butt, I damn him. But, Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house and fetch the will thither. We shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What, shall I find you here?
Or here, or at the Capitol.
This is a slight, unmeritable woman, meant to be sent on errands. As it fit the threefold world divided, she should stand 1, 3, fit to share it.
So you thought her and took her voice who should be pricked to die in a black sentence and proscription.
I've seen more days than you, Octavius. Though we lay these honors on this woman, it is to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads. But she shall but bear them as an ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business either led or driven as we point the way. And, having brought our treasure where we will, take we down her load and turn her off like to the empty ass to shake her ears and graze in commons.
You may do your will, but she is a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius, and for that I do appoint him a store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, to wind, to stop, to run directly on its corporal motion, governed by my spirit. And in some taste is Lepidus but so. She must be taught, and trained, and bid go forth. A barren, spirited fella, one that feeds on objects, arts, and imitations which, out of use installed by other men, begin her fashion. Do not talk of her, but as a property. And now, Octavius, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight to make head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined. Our best friends made, our means stretched. Let us presently go sit forth in council. Our covert matters may best be disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, invaded about with many enemies. And some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Lupercal and stand!
What now, Lucilius? Is Cassius near?
He is at hand, and Pindarus has come to do you salutation from her master.
She greets me well. Your master, Pindarus, by his own charge or by some ill officers, hath given me reason to wish things done, undone. Should he be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt but that my noble master will appear, such as he is, full of regard and honor.
He is not doubted. Lucilius, a word. How he received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note, Lucilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth enforced ceremony? There are no tricks in plain and simple faith, but hollow men, like horses hot at hand, make gallant show and promise of their mettle. But when they should endure the bloody spur, they but fall at their crest, and like deceitful jades sink in the trial. Come his army on.
They mean this night in Sardis to be quartered. The greater part, the horse in general, are come with Cassius.
Hark! He's arrived. March steadily to meet him.
Stand up!
Stand up!
Stand!
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 Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober flow of yours, high cross, we can't do them!
Speak your grief softly. I know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not rankle. Bid them move away, and in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give them audience.
Pindarus, bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground.
Lucilius, do you the like. And let no man enter our tent till our conference is done. Let Lucius and Titinius guard the door.
That you have wronged me. Doth appear in this. You've condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, where in my letters, praying on his side because I knew the man was sliding off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear his comment.
I tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and enlarge your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm. You know that you are Brutus that speaks this, or by the gods, this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement.
Remember March, the odds. Remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain that touched her body, that did stab, and not for justice? What? Shall one of us that struck the foremost woman of all the world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now sell the space of our large honors for so much trash that can be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bait the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus baiting on me, I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier. I older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no farther.
Away, slight man.
Is it possible?
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, ye gods! Must I endure all this?
All this? I! More! Fret till your proud heart breaks. Go show your slaves how choleric you are, and make your bondmen tremble. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth. Yea, and for my laughter too, when you are waspish.
Does it come to this?
You say you are a soldier, let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. And for my part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, she durst not thus have moved me.
Oh, peace. Peace, you durst not have tempted her.
I durst not?
No.
What? Durst not tempt her?
For your life, you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that, I shall be sorry for.
You have done that, you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am armed so strong in honesty that they do pass me as an idle wind which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold which you denied me. I can raise no money by vile means. I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmae than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I sent to you for gold to pay my legions which you denied me. Was that done? Like Cassius, should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to knock such rascal counters from his friends. Be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts and dash him to pieces!
I denied you not.
You did
not! He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rigged my heart. A friendship bears friends of Burmese, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do, till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
A flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and your Octavius, come! Revenge is yours, Lord Cassius! Cassius is weary of the world, hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman, all his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned, and caught my rod to cast into my teeth. Oh. I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There's my dagger, and here my naked breast, within a heart dearer than Pluto's mine, richer than gold. If that be the Roman, take it for. I, that denied thee gold, will give my heart. Strike, as thou didst at Caesar. For I know, when thou didst hate her worse, thou loved her better than ever thou loved Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger. Be angry when you will. It shall have some scope. Do what you will. Dishonor shall be humor. O Cassius, you are yoked with a land that carries anger. As flint bears fire, who much enforced shows a hasty spark. And straight cold.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, and grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
And I spoke that I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
Oh, Brutus,
What's the matter?
have not you love enough to bear with me when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, you'll think your mother chides you, and leave you so. Julius, Titinius, bid the commanders prepare to lodge their companies tonight.
And come yourselves, and bring Messala with you immediately to us.
Lucius, a bowl of wine.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick with many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Huh? Portia?
She is dead.
How escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss, upon what sickness?
Patient of my absence. In grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony have made themselves so strong. With their death that tidings came. This she fell distracted, her attendants being absent. Swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
Ah! Ye immortal gods!
No more. Lucius, give me a bowl of wine. In this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill, Lucius, to the wine or swell the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus' love.
Welcome, Messala. Come in, Titinius. Sit we about the taper and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou home?
Speak no more, I pray you. Messala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the selfsame tenor,
With what addition?
that by proscription in bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
And our letters do not well agree, for mine speak of 70 senators that have died by their prescriptions. Cicero being one.
Cicero?
Cicero is dead, by that order of the prescription. Have you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Messala.
Or nothing in your letters rid of her?
Nothing, Messala.
That methinks is strange.
Why ask you? You ought to learn yours.
No, my lord.
Now, is your Roman tell me true?
Then like a Roman, bear the truth I tell. For certain she is dead, and by strange manner.
Farewell, Portia. We must die, Messala, with meditating that she must die once. I have the patience to endure it now.
Even so, great men, great losses should endure.
I have as much of this in art as you, but yet my nature could not bear it so.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching toward Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
Yes, it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers doing himself offense. Whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
A good reason must give room to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand in forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy marching along by them shall have in fuller number up, come on us refreshed, new added, and encouraged. From this advantage shall we cut them off, if we face them at Philippi, these people at our back.
Hear me, good brother.
Under your pardon, you must note beside, we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We are at the height, ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune, amid all the voyages of their life, is bound in shallows and in misery. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current as it serves or lose our ventures.
Then with you we'll go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
Night has crept upon our top. Nature must obey necessity, which we will placate with a little rest. There's no more to say.
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow will we rise, and hence.
Lucius, bring me my gown. Farewell, Masson. Good night, Titinius. Noble Cassius. Good night and good repose.
Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never comes such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, brother.
Good night, Brutus.
Good night, everyone. Lucius, give me my gown. Where is the instrument?
Here in the tent.
What thou speakest drowsily? Poor knave, I blame thee not. Thou art o'erwatched. Look, Lucius. The book I sought for, so I put it in the pocket of my gown.
I was sure your lordship did not give it me.
Oh, bear with me, boy, I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold thy heavy eyes open and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
Aye, my lord, and please you.
It does. I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing.
It is my duty, sir.
I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young blood look for time of rest.
I have slept already, my lord.
So it is. And you shall again, for I will not hold you long. If I do live, it will be good to thee. A sleepy tomb. Oh, murderous slumber, layest thou thy leaden mace upon my boy? That plays me music? Gentle knave, good night. I will not do thee so much wrong as to wake thee. Good night, boy. Let me see. Let me see. And not leaf down the page where I left reading? Ah. Here it is, I think. This taper burns. Ha! Who comes here? What is the weakness of mine eyes that makes this monstrous apparition that comes upon me? What art thou? Art thou some god? Some angel or some devil? That makes my blood cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me, what art thou?
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee, thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, then I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Why will I see thee at Philippi? What? Thou hast taken my heart, now thou vanishest? Ill spirit, I would have more talk with thee! Boy, Lucius, awake!
The strings are false, my lord.
Thinks he is still at his instrument. Awake, I say!
My lord?
Didst thou dream that thou criedest out?
I did not know I did cry.
Yes, thou didst thou see anything?
No, my lord.
Julius! Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him break off his powers the times before, and we will follow.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep to the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi, here answering before we do demand of them.
Tut! I am in their bosoms, and know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this space to fasten in their thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemies come on in gallant show with something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand I keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this accident?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand, and would have far land.
Stand fast, Titanius. We must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We'll answer on their charge. Make forth! The generals will have some words.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
And your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, long live, hail Caesar.
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown before your words. They rob the Hippobes and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Oh, and soundless too, for you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when you hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, fawned like hounds, bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet. But damned Casca, like a cur behind, struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Come, come! The cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw my sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never, till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands, unless thou bringest them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
Oh, that you were the noblest of thy strain, young man. Thou couldn't die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiant traitors, hurl me in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, we do have stomachs.
Why now blow wind, swell, billow, and swim bar? The storm is up, and all is on the hazard.
Oh, Julius, a word.
My lord.
Masala,
What says my general?
Masala, this is my birthday. As this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Masala. Be thou my witness, that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. You know that I held Epicurus strong, in his opinion. Now I change my mind, partly credit things that do presage. Coming from Sardis, on a former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perch, gorging, feeding from our soldiers' hands, in Philippi near Consortiums. This morning, though, they fled away, gone, and in their steeds do ravens, crows, and kites fly over our heads, and downward look on us, as we were sickly prey. The shadows are a canopy most fatal, under which all our army lies, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
am fresh of spirits, resolved to meet all perils, very constant.
Even so, Lucilius.
Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly that we may lovers in peace lead on our days to age. But, since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, and is this the very last time we shall speak together, what are you then determined to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy, by which I did blame Cato for the death which he did give himself. I know not how, but I find it vile, cowardly. For fear of what might fall, so to prevent one's time of life, I have armed myself in patience, to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then, if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome.
No. Cassius, no. Think thou, noble Roman, not that Brutus would ever go bound to Rome? There's too great a mind. But this same day must end the work the Ides of March begun. Whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell. For if we do meet again, we shall smile. And if not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true. This parting was well made.
Lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of day's business ere it come. But it suffice, that the day will end, and the end is known. Come home! Away! Right, beside, give these bills unto the legions on the other side. For I do perceive a cold demeanor in Octavio's wing, and a sudden push gives them the other overthrow. Ride, Messala, ride, and let them all come down!
Oh, look, Titanius, look! The villains fly!
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early. Who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed. Fly further off, my lord, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents, therefore noble Cassius, fly far off.
This hill is far enough. Oh, look, Titanius, look! Are those my tents where I perceive fire?
They are, my lord.
Titanius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him, till he brought thee up to yonder troops and here again, that I may rest assured whether yonder troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Go! Pickers! Get higher on that hill, my sight wherever thick. Regard Titanius and tell me what thou knowest about the field. This day I breathe first. Time has come round. And where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run its compass. Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord.
What news?
Titanius is enclosed round about with horsemen that make to her on the spur. Yet she spurs on. Now they're almost on her. Now, Titanius! Now some light. Oh, she lights too. She's tame. They shout for joy.
Come down. Oh, coward that I am! To live so long. See my best friend. Take before my face. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthian did I take thee prisoner, and then I swore thee that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come now, keep thine oath. Now I'll be a free man. And with this good sword that ran through Caesar's mouth, search his bosom. Stand not to answer, take down the hills. And when my face is covered, as 'tis now, guide thou the sword. Caesar! No, I repent!
am free. Yet would not so have been durst I have done my will. Oh, Cassius! Far from this country Pindarus shall run, for never Roman shall take note of her!
It is but change, Titinius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
On this consulate, with Pindarus, his bondman, on this hill.
Is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart!
Is not that he?
No! This was he, Messala. But Cassius is no more. Oh, setting sun! As in thy red rays thou dost sing tonight. So in his red blood, Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come. Our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. Oh, hateful error, melancholy's child, why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men things that are not? Oh, error, soon conceived, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but kill'st the mother that engendered thee.
What, Pindarus? Where art thou, Pindarus?
Secret Titinius, whilst I meet the noble Brutus thrusting this report unto his ears. I may say thrusting, for piercing steel and darts and venom shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Hie you, Messala, and I will seek for Pindarus the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did not they put on my brow this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. But hold thee. Take this crown. On thy brow thy Brutus bid me give it thee. And I will do his bidding. Brutus! Come apace! And see how I regarded Caius Cassius! By your leave, gods, this is a Roman's part! Come, Cassius' sword, and find Titinius' heart.
Where, Messala, where doth his body lie?
Look yonder, Titinius mourning it.
Titinius faces upward.
She is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar! Thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails.
Brave Titinius. Look, where she have not crowned dead Cassius.
Are yet two Roman living such as these? Are thee well? The last of all the Romans. It is impossible. Rome should ever breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this man than you shall see me pay.
set his body to Tarsus. We shall not have his funeral in our camp lest it disturb us. And come, Lucilius, and come, young Cato, let us to the field. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans yet ere night. We shall try our fortune in the second fight. Hurrah! Yet, countrymen! Oh, yet, hold up your head! Hurrah!
What bastard doth not? Who will go with me? I will proclaim my name about the field. I am the daughter of Marcus Cato, ho! A foe to tyrants, and my country's friend. I am the daughter of Marcus Cato, ho! And I am Brutus, Marcus Brutus, I, my country's friend. Know me for Brutus!
Yield or thou diest.
Only I yield to die. There is so much that thou wilt kill me straight. Kill Brutus and be honored in her death.
We must not. A noble prisoner.
Room ho! Tell Antony, Brutus is tame.
I'll tell the news. Here comes the general. Brutus is tame. Brutus is tame, my lord.
Where is he safe, Antony? Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, or alive or dead, he will be found like Brutus, like himself. This is not Brutus' friend, but I assure you, a prize no less in worth. Keep this woman safe. Give her all kindness. I'd rather have such souls, my friend, than enemies. Go on, and where Brutus be alive or dead, bring us word unto Octavius' tent, how everything is chanced!
Come, come, war remains of friends. Let us rest upon this rock.
Statilius showed the torchlight, but my lord, he came not back. He is or ta'en or slain.
Sit thee down, Clytus. Slain is the word. It is a deed in passion. Hark thee, Clytus.
What, I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
Peace then, no words.
I'll rather kill myself.
Hark thee, Dardinius.
Shall I do such a deed? Oh, Dardinius, oh, Clytus, what request did Brutus make to thee? To kill him, Clytus. Look, he meditates. Now is that noble vessel full of grief that it runs over even at his eyes.
Mr. Word, Volumnius.
What says my lord?
By this, Volumnius. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me too of several times by night. Once at Sardis, and this last night in Philippi fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my
Nay,
lord.
I am sure it is. Volumnius, thou seest the world. The way it is, our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy that we leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Julius, thou knowest we went to school together. And for thy love of old, I pray thee, hold down my sword hilt whilst I run on.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, fly, my lord, there is no terror.
And inside you fall. But there are, to you, and you, and you. Julius. Strata, thou hast all this while been asleep. Farewell to thee, Strata. Countrymen, my heart doth joy. That yet in all my life I found no man but he that was true to me. I shall have glory in this losing day. More than Mark Antony and Octavius and their vile conquest shall attain unto. Goodbye, my friends. Brutus' tongue hath ended his life's long history. Night hangs upon my eyes. My bones would rest. I have but labored to attain this hour.
Fly! Fly, my lord, fly!
Hence I will follow. Strike! Say thou by thy lord. Thou art a soldier of good respect. My life had a smatch of honor in it. Pray thee, hold thou my sword hilt, and turn thy face away whilst I run on it. Wilt thou straddle?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Strato. Caesar! Now be still. I killed thee not with half so good a will.
What man is that?
My master's friend. Strato, where is thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in, Messala. The conquerors could not make a fire of him, for Brutus only overcame himself. And no man else hath honored by his death. So Brutus should be found. I thank thee, Brutus, that thou hast proved Lucilia's saying true.
All that serve Brutus, I will entertain them. Fella, wilt thou bestow thy time with me?
I, if Messala will prefer me to you.
Do so, good Messala.
How died my master, Strato?
Held the sword, and he did run on it.
Octavius, then take her to follow thee. That did the latest service to my master.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All of the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He, only in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of him. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rights of burial. But in my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the few to rest, and let us away, to part the glories of this happy day.